last month, not July, June, so it's actually been a while. But I wasn't in this office because there was all kinds of crazy things that were going on. So I'm going to cover something that should have been covered, a couple months ago. But the reason why I feel it's really important to cover it today is because you need to hear it. This is probably, I know that I say I'm really passionate about subjects, and I am passionate about all digital marketing subjects, but video is the one thing that we really just need to embrace. It's where people are going for their content and for their information. So it's really important that we get on board. So I'm going to be talking about video marketing. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, then video is worth 10,000. And I really think that that is so true. I mean, think about it. Video, the types of content that is available, the amount of information that is there in a video versus a picture, is insane. So, and I'm going to start off, I'm going to talk about a plan, how to shoot, how to share this stuff. We have a whole section in my Recafe called Action CV, and I'm going to talk a lot about it. But before I kind of get into all this stuff, I'm going to share with you my favorite statistics about video marketing. Because I think a lot of us are kind of missing the boat on this. So why video? I love this statistic. It's not actually written on here. I'm going to tell you. The average consumer, 70% of consumers believe that there should be a video with every single listing regardless of price point. And a video and a slideshow are not the same things. So a video is an actual video taken with a smartphone or some sort of camera device. It is not a slideshow of images that go through. So those are two separate things, and this is traditional video. So those consumers believe that there should be a video with every single listing regardless of price point. But here's the deal, 5% of our agents are doing it. 5% of agents nationwide are doing it, so we're really missing the boat. And I know, for me, in our marketing team, video was a big topic for us in 2013. It's like this one thing, we're going to embrace video. And for me, I can speak all day long. You can give me the biggest group imaginable, and I'm totally fine. But the second somebody pulls out a video camera, like the one in the back of the room, I am freaking out. My hands are shaking, and it's over. It, completely kills it. So I've had to, literally, you're seeing me now, embrace video. Because that's what people want. Just like you guys as agents, on the flip side of this, you want to be able to see this presentation that I give later. So that's why we have to embrace video. So I'm gonna share with you a couple more of my favorite statistics. All right, so let's talk about the average consumer. If you were in the meeting this morning, you heard me speak a little bit about the digital consumer, but let's actually bring this down with some video-specific statistics. All right, the average consumer spends 48 seconds on a website with text. That is your capture rate. 48 seconds. So I said in the meeting this morning that people are busy, right? You ask them how they're doing, and they say that they're busy. And I am so guilty of the same thing. Somebody asked me how I am, I say, I'm great, but I'm busy. And the same thing is happening to our digital consumers. So 48 seconds is a capture rate. So what is happening is that these consumers are going in, and they're picking out keywords, and that's how they're gathering their information. They're not reading all of the content that's there. And I know, after I read that statistic, I started watching what I was doing, and even when I got emails from my boss, I was totally guilty of it. I'm like, what do I need to do? Is there anything in here for me? And I would just pull out the keywords and move on. But something really interesting happens when you start incorporating video on websites. The capture rate goes up to 5 minutes and 50 seconds just by incorporating video. So that's a 5-minute additional capture rate just by sticking a video on a website. And what's really interesting about that, though, is that the average video is under the 3-minute mark. Most are under the 2-minute mark. So what ends up happening is that consumer goes in, and they watch that video, and then that sparks their interest, and then they go in and then they read the text. And then you've captured them in 2 different platforms. So that's why video is awesome. Also because it increases SEO value, search engine optimization, and the reason being is, right there to you. The reason is that YouTube is the second largest search engine behind Google. It's really interesting to think about. I said that in a lot of classes, and I had a lot of agents challenge me, no, it's Bing, it's got to be Bing, or it's got to be Yahoo. No, it's YouTube. It's really interesting too because Google owns YouTube, so it's one of those situations, right? So, and on a side note, an interesting thing. A couple months ago, it was early in the morning, and I went to start my car to go to an office to do one of these workshops. I got in my car, went to crank it, and it wouldn't start. It was a bad day, right? So I was like, dang it. So I went inside. The first thing that I did was open up my laptop, went to YouTube, and typed in all of the problems with my car, my make, and my model. And then there was over 1,000 videos that popped up on my one issue. And after I did that, I reflected. I was like, wow, it's interesting. Even for me, the first place I went to when I needed a solution to a problem was I went to YouTube. Did you have a question?
Yeah. That 48 seconds you said text, is that with text and photo or just
With text and photo.
Okay,
Yep.
so that is 48.
Right. And what's interesting is that would be a slideshow too. So.
Oh, so that all included.
Yeah, that's all included. And that's like the average.
Okay.
So video's kind of a key. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so, and video is increasingly more important in the home search. So I told you before, 70% of your clients believe that there should be a video with every single listing regardless of price point. 5% of us are doing them. But they're such a powerful tool for a listing. I mean, nothing can show a house better than a video can besides that person actually getting inside the house. So that's what we're trying to do. And what we're finding is that consumers want to see it on this end too. They want to know about the community. They want to know about the listing. They want to know about who you are. They want to know about the testimonials from other clients that you've had. Yes? Do you have a question?
So how does it fit in with people having no time? Do you do sort of 48 seconds? Does that mean people look at 100 listings for 48 seconds each, and they
No.
look at 10
So
for 5
that
minutes?
48-second capture rate is on a website. So if they went to your listing, they're there for 48 seconds. Then if they navigated away and went to something else that they found on Google, then they'll spend 48 seconds on that website. So for each website with just text, the capture rate is 48 seconds. Yes.
So we want all of our testimonials to be on video, we want our presentations to be on video, and we want all of ours.
Yes.
Our testimony?
How the hell you
I'm gonna talk about all of that in just a second. Let me get there. All right. So there are some real estate specific video statistics. This is a mouthful. All right. So, but I do like some of these. So, and I think
Are some of these statistics available to us in print somewhere?
no, but you will get this presentation. So, but not in like a listing presentation form or anything that I'm aware of. But there should be.
Yeah. I mean, if it's
Can you
this
make a note for
important-
me that I need to create a listing presentation? Thank you.
Stop you one more time.
They got
Sure.
it.
It's okay. No.
Sorry.
Bring it on.
Do you know the age group range that you're talking about, these statistics?
Yeah, this is every age group.
Every-
So,
so
yeah,
it's not
this is
just
snapshot.
Under 30?
No, it's not under 30,
Or,
but that's a good question.
okay.
Yeah.
Just wondering.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so if you look on YouTube, there are 19,200 results on just how to pick a real estate agent. Not who they are, just how to pick one. I think it's crazy, right? There's 88,400 for an actual real estate agent. That would be a bio video, you talking about yourself, how great you are. There's 118,000 on how to buy a home, just how to go through the home buying process. So it's really interesting to think about that all this content is there, you know, and on a side note, if you wanted to do your own research, just go to YouTube, start typing in these things and seeing what pops up. There's some really cool stuff. So we need to embrace video. All right, so now I'm gonna talk about what topic. There's 4 different kinds of topics that you can get started with in video. And my presentations are always riddled with my personal opinion, so I'm gonna give you that too. All right, so the first one is an agent bio. I think every single agent needs an agent bio. It is like critical. You need to put it on your website. I mean, if you want to drive more traffic to your website, the easiest way to do it is to stick a video on it. It is really is easy. So in these agent bios, let's talk about them. So obviously, this should be you in front of the camera talking about who you are and the benefit that you have to your clients and what makes you stand apart from all the other agents. These videos need to be under 3 minutes. If I was an agent, I would make them 2 minutes or shorter. So here's our story. In the marketing department, 2013, we're embracing video, so we've all had to do it. So when we started in January, we started creating a couple like sample videos, and we did them in Bishop Ranch up in San Ramon. And the first thing that we did is we got this big poster board, and we would just write out everything that we wanted to talk about. And then one of us would stand behind this white wall while another person in the marketing team would hold up the poster board that had everything scripted for us, and we would read it off the poster board. Well, let me tell you that looked horrible. I mean, we called it the twitchy eye because like you could see our eyeballs like reading it. There was no personality involved whatsoever because there was no inflections in our voice because we're just sitting there reading it. And we're all nervous and jittery because we don't like the video camera, right? So it was just a really bad feel. So what we ended up doing, because you learn, is that we started bulleting everything out, just like the bullets of the things that we wanted to cover. And then we would just speak to those bullets. It kept us on track, but it felt natural, our message was able to get conveyed. And I'll tell you that a couple of things The content is what's important. I know that it's really easy to take these videos back and be like, oh my gosh, my hair was doing this weird thing right here, and then my hand did this crazy shaky thing over here, and like, was there something in my teeth right there? It's easy to do that, but the content is what's important. Don't overanalyze yourself. I mean, there are definitely times when you need to reshoot it. I know, I've had to reshoot my own before. But just don't overanalyze it. And I've seen a lot of these where agents have gone and done some like crazy editing, and that is kind of like the equivalent of taking like that Uber Photoshop picture where your skin's all stretched back and your teeth are like blinding me in the face, right? So don't over edit, it just doesn't look natural. So people want to feel your personality, they want to get to know who you are, they want to know what their value is to go with you versus another agent. So talk about those things and let it be natural. So I've done a lot of studying of really good public speakers and what makes public speakers really good. And they use the same analogy. What they do is they make bullets for the things that they want to speak about, and then they keep it organized in their mind and they just speak to them. And it just comes across so much better. It's so much more genuine. It's your personality that they're really getting and that they want. All right, any questions on a bio video? And if I did one, I would put this right on the home screen of my free agent website on Marriott Cafe. And that would be the best place for this. I mean, what a great introduction to you. And you get that 5-minute and 50-second capture rate, and you've driven up your SEO value. It's a win-win. All right. So the next topic is listings. So these listing videos, in my opinion, are probably the easiest way to get started in video. You don't have to be in front of the camera, right? So it kind of takes the fear out of it. So this would be maybe where you want to start and kind of start getting your feet wet a little bit on, incorporating video into all of your marketing. So let's talk about what the clients want to see with these listing videos. They want to see what the flow of the house looks like. That's so crucial. I said in the sales meeting this morning that I was in the house market. And I know for me, I've seen a million different virtual tours and all of these things and slideshows and pictures, and you get this kind of impression of what the property looks like, but it's always different than when you actually go and walk into it. You guys know this. So having a video of what the flow looks like, that is such a value to your clients. They want to see that, just what the flow looks like. Because you don't want to, honestly, I know a lot of agents kind of have this opinion that you should just get everybody into the house. And that might be true, but you also don't want to waste their time and then get disheartened and disappointed, right? So find the houses that are right for them. Another great way to do this too is to just give a scan of what the street view looks like. That's a huge thing. If there's a park nearby and it's walking distance, walk to the park with the video camera and show how close it is. Things like that you can just kind of draw on and talk about, right? So, and those are huge benefits to the clients. So I always get the question, well, how should I do this? And I have a whole slide in here about the technology that you need and the equipment and da-da-da-da-da. But I have a personal opinion. Use what you have, we have smartphone devices. I just bought the new iPhone 5. The video capability on it is awesome. And it's so interesting because I graduated college 8 years ago. My first job was with Nokia, and we were pushing an analog phone with a big slider battery out of the back. That was 8 years ago. I have a computer in my pocket now. So technology's come really far. So really, those devices, those tablets, the smartphones that you have, they work perfectly, and it's the content that's important. And I always get asked the question, well, what if it's shaky or whatever? And I'm like, the first one you do probably will be, but you'll get better at it as you start doing more of them. The content is important though, right? And then just know that you need to be a lot slower than you think you need to be. So when you're moving your smartphone device and you think that you're going nice and slow it down even more because it's probably a little bit too fast. So think about that as being the eyes. So, and then I always get the question, like a voiceover, right? Because you should be talking. You should say, this is the address, this is the school district, this is this listing, this is what the inside living room looks like. And my agents always ask, should I take it back in the voiceover later? I'm like, no, why add extra steps? The content is what's important, so just talk right there. This is the address, this is what the house looks like, this is what the formal open floor plan blah 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 looks like, and just talk to it right there. Just one easy step and you're done. So, and that might help answer your question, how are we going to integrate this into our crazy busy lives?
So you
Just
think
make
that
it simple.
we should be doing our own videos rather than hiring people to do them?
I do. Okay, so here's my opinion on that. That's a great question. So if I was an agent, anything in the classic price point, I would shoot myself every time with my smartphone device. Anything in the previous price point though, if you have like a $17 million listing, I would probably hire a videographer in that scenario. And that's kind of how I would distinguish the two.
What if you have a fixer-upper that's,
I do it myself.
I know,
And
but
talk
I
about
mean,
the
is that
possibilities.
even worth videoing?
It could be.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing that I know with fixers, that's a great question. The problem that a lot of the consumers have when they see those fixers is that they don't know how to imagine it. They don't know how to visualize the possibilities. So having a video where you're talking about the possibilities could expand their minds. It might be a huge tool for that. Yeah. All right. Next topic. This is my favorite. Community and informational videos. I really think these, more than anything, sell houses. At least they sell the community. So, and I know this area is kind of specialized. You guys are kind of up here in your own unique area, but you have a lot of people that are coming from like the Bay Area and they're moving up here and they don't really know a lot about what's going on. And you guys have a lot of things working for you. There's downtown Carmel, there's such cool stuff in Monterey, there's all kinds of farmers markets and festivals and events. Getting out and talking about those is awesome. I mean, that will help sell this community, which will sell that property. So here's my story. 2.5 years ago, I wanted to move from Milpitas, this is all in the South Bay, to an area in San Jose. I knew that I wanted to move, and they're 20 minutes apart from each other. I knew I wanted to move to that area in San Jose for 2 reasons. The first reason was because they had really great schools and I had a daughter that was starting kindergarten. The second reason was all of my friends lived in the neighborhood and it would make me a whole lot closer for wine night, right? So I could just walk home. So other than that, I did not know a whole lot about Cambrian Park, the community at all. So I started researching. And because I'm busy, I didn't have a lot of time to just drive the streets to learn about it. So I started getting on Google and I would research downtown Cambrian Park and festivals and events. And I remember when I did this Google search, there was a video from an agent that was #2 on Google. Because start noticing, anytime you go to Google and you search something, YouTube videos pop up on the first page every time. And I clicked on it, and all she did, she literally took her smartphone device and she scanned the produce at the farmer's market. And when she did that, I saw that they had figs at the farmer's market. I got really excited because I love figs. And for the last 2.5 years, I have been to that farmer's market every single weekend because of that video. And I still remember it, obviously, and it's part of what sold me my house. I always get asked the question, did I go with that agent? No, I was already working with another agent who was a Coldwell banker agent, and he's who got me this job, so that worked out well too. Yes.
Well, what about already on YouTube videos?
Use them.
We can drag them down? Is there
Yes, you
any
can.
copyright?
No, if it is on there, you can use it.
Is that better for us? Is that, there must be some fabulous thing about Carmel.
Mm-hmm.
We just put, and it doesn't have to be my voice, it's
Right.
somebody else.
And that's fine too.
How do you get that onto our web?
Yeah.
It's really simple. So I actually, for this presentation, I know, don't laugh at me. All right, it is really easy. So for this presentation, I normally give out homework because I know that like part of what I do is I come in and talk about things on this broad scale and it's like bringing it home. So I'm going to give you some homework, but to put it on the website is actually really easy. After you put the video on YouTube, you should house every single one of your videos on YouTube, and then it should go from every other source from your YouTube channel. But from there, you can get the HTML code. It's already created for you. You copy and paste it and put it where you want it in the website. And we have step-by-step directions from our marketing team that are available to you to do that in my Recafe and a Propel class as well. Yeah. All right. So with these, it's nice. It's again could be a simple voiceover. Yes, you could totally use whatever's already available. Go to YouTube and type it in because you can add it to your listing. Anything cool. But if it's another agent and they're pitching themselves and talking about themselves, maybe don't use that one.
But
And when you do yours, talk about yourself so that other agents can use them.
are you saying anything posted on YouTube by anybody is in the public domain? I think that's the question you're asking, right?
Yeah, and it can be used anywhere.
So like any Chamber of Commerce's
Yep.
thing on YouTube,
Totally
you
fine.
can take it.
And with your iPhone, if you're going to be giving a presentation and you've got your bullet points, do you put it on some sort of stand or do you get a camera like?
Well, it depends on how many bullet points you have. Like, hopefully, we always have like the rules of 5. No more than 5 sentences, no more than 5 bullets. And like for that, I think for me, I can memorize them. But it just depends. It might take some time if you get nervous. But maybe,
What holds your iPhone?
oh, well, somebody's gonna have to do that for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you should,
You're
they
on
would do our
tripod.
files.
Yeah, you could do a
Nice.
selfie.